Dude, pull up your pants! This is Act My Age, lessons from a guy who's old enough to know better. I'm Brother Russ. Today's topic, belts. Yay. Actually, specifically, Anson belts. You know, if you've been around the male style channels at all, you've probably seen them promoted. The Anson belt, a ratcheting belt system, actually really nice. And I just saw one today from one very popular YouTuber saying, oh yeah, we got the special today. There's the code down below. Go to Anson belt. You know, you can get a full belt for $50. Or you can get their super special, which is 3 buckles and 2 straps, or 3 straps and 2 buckles for $100. And, you know, it all seems kind of neat if you've seen it. But who wants to spend $100 or even $50 to find out whether or not you really like one? So I got a solution. There are alternatives to the Anson belt that actually work really well. I'm going to talk about that. First off, I've got here an actual Anson belt strap. Let's see if I get the... So you can see the logo there, etc. And it's very nicely done. I have to say that. I mean, this is a very good quality strap that they have here. It seems like it's, you know, good leather, etc. I like the texture of it, etc. And if you haven't seen this before, you see there is this track system that they have on the back of the Anson belt. And then when you actually feed it in to the buckle like this, and then you pull it, you hear that clicking, it is now latched, and you didn't have to do anything. And because it's, you know, at these little micro adjustments, like 1/4 inch or something like this, you know, you can make it a little bit tighter, you can make it a little looser. You push this little thing here, and you can spread it out. So, you know, you had that big dinner that maybe you shouldn't have had, you know, and your belt's a little tight. You can just kind of slip your finger here and just give it a little push, and suddenly you're wearing, you know, a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch wider belt than when you started, which is actually kind of nice. But, you know, and they've got some, you know, nice buckles and stuff like this. But I'm going to tell you the truth. This buckle that I have on this Anson strap is not an Anson buckle. Okay? And that's because I didn't buy an Anson strap to begin with, because I didn't want to spend that sort of money. I wanted to see what else, you know, whether I'd like it. So I actually started looking around on eBay and Amazon, and I found a plethora of choices for a lot less. So if you're going to try to start things out, you could try with one of these. Now, this is an Enimay brand belt. Let me see if I can find the marking. This is actually, you know, it's an Italian leather, made in Italy. Even the buckle itself is, you know, it's got an Italy embossing on it. It, rather than having that that little round thing that you move, this has a little plunger, but it works the same way. And actually, I kind of like the plunger mechanism easier. You know, when it's easier to reach down and, you know, give it a quick hit and, you know, to undo your belt. It does project a little bit farther off the bottom. I don't know if you can see that down there. But then again, you kind of have to be like below someone's belt line and looking at their belt to see that. And I'm going to warrant a guess that if you're staring at someone's belt line from that angle, you're probably not there to inspect the belt. Just saying. You probably have other things on your mind, so I don't think this is a big deal. But it actually works tremendously well. And the interesting thing about this is that the buckle and the strap together, I got this one on Amazon. I think this cost like $13 total for the pair, shipped, because I got Amazon Prime. Okay, so, you know, do what you can do. But for a total of $13, which is half the price of the Anson strap alone without the buckle. Because if you buy them individually, it's $25 for the strap, $25 for the buckle. So I got a couple of these, and these actually are very nice. And the interesting thing is that you see it's got the same basic mechanism here, and they are interchangeable. So you can use the Anson strap with this head, and there's plenty of different heads. And as you can see here, there's this little tab here that you can just pop up, and you pull the strap right out of it. So you can interchange straps and heads to your heart's content. It takes literally 5 seconds to change the head on one of these belts. But that was like about $12. I've gotten Enimay belts for as low as like $8, because if you look around on Amazon particularly, certain styles, especially when they get low quantity, they like cut the price. I've noticed that on a lot of different things. If you haven't noticed that, it's actually really cool. But take a look at some of the variations, and you just keep poking at them, and it's like, oh, this one's $7.95. So that looks good. Another type that you see out there is the click belt type. This was on television for a while. I haven't seen it for a while, but it's using the same basic mechanism. Let me pull up the thing. Same sort of adjustment here. Now this one actually, I have a click belt somewhere. This isn't the actual branded click belt, but it is virtually identical to the click belt. It uses the same sort of jaw type mechanism. Once again, that you just pull through, and then you just lift and release. And I actually saw one reviewer, looking at this thing, saying, "Oh, but the noise, that horrible clicking noise. What are you going to do when you're at the table and you go to to relax your belt, and you end up with that horrible clicking sound? That's terrible." Well, that just kind of goes to prove to me that he didn't actually wear it, because I'll tell you, it takes nothing practice-wise to be able to release this thing without making a sound. It's really quite simple. So even these are compatible. You can use the same straps. You can use an Anson strap in this head. It'll work just fine. Or you can use the Enimay strap. Doesn't make any difference. I got another one over here. As my dog is beating the boxes with his tail. Another one of these situations. There are tons and tons, particularly of these heads. All sorts of various shapes and sizes. Once again, the same sort of strap. This is, an unbranded thing. Who knows where it came from, as my dog destroys the universe. So it's, and once again, this one I think was probably inside like the $8 to $9 category, complete. So you can actually try this Anson style belt for peanuts. You don't need to start off with a $50 or $100 investment. Now, if you want to go Anson and you really like their straps and something, they got some really neat straps. I'll give them that, and it's well made. I'm not knocking the fact that it's well made. Apparently, I think U.S. made and all this sort of stuff. So I mean, it's good stuff. But why don't you make the decision by trying some first before you start playing the big money? By the way, that click belt one, wherever I got it, over here. The click belt thing that you find on television is like $20. Well, you can go on Amazon, you can go on eBay, and you can get the exact same thing for like $6. And that's delivered. This is not with shipping. That includes shipping. And so once again, you can try these things out. You can try it out for a little bit. If you don't like it, okay, what are you out? $6, $7, $8? Most of us can live with that. But if you're going to be out $50, or God forbid you're going to be out $100, and you say, I don't like this, I don't like the way it looks, I don't like the way it feels, go cheap. So Amazon, eBay, the Enimay one I really like very much. I've got a couple from them. With the Italian strap, Italian head to it, but they're all interchangeable. They work really well. I actually like these belts. I mean, I was the guy who liked the solid piece of one-piece leather, the type of thing that a craftsman built. I've never been one for the fashion belts that are all sewn together and they come apart because they're cheap crap. I always liked, a basic one-piece solid leather strap that was really good. But you know, it would wear around the holes. You'd get bends and stuff like this, and it wouldn't look so good. These things, I mean, I've been wearing these things for I'm going to say like 6-7 months now, and they're terrific. I mean, very little visual wear to it. You can, you know, of course, you can change the heads, and there are tons and tons of buckles that you can buy out there. And even if you just go buying buckles alone, you know, if you go from some of these like Asian suppliers and whatnot, they're like $5-6 a piece. So if you see something that's really kind of, you know, nifty that you want, whatever it is, you know, gee, put out the $5 or $6 and add it to your set. So if you've been on the fence over the Anson game, if you've been looking at it and saying, well, that looks really neat, but I don't want to pay that sort of money, at least not without knowing whether it works for me, go ahead and try one of these inexpensive belts, because they work the same, they interchange. If you really want to, you know, you want the Anson stuff, you want that, you know, the nice quality, etc. I mean, the quality on these things is not bad at all, as far as I can see. But I'm sure the Anson one's a, you know, a bit better. If that's what you want maybe a particular color strap that they have that's you know, kind of peculiar, there's stuff like that, go ahead. But now you know that you're going to wear it. You know you're going to like it, right? So that makes all the difference in the world. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. If you've heard all the stuff about Anson belts or Mission belts, or, you know, there's several brands out there. Anson's getting a lot of push with a lot of the YouTubers I see. There are alternatives, really cost-effective alternatives. Get a couple of them, give them a whirl. If you like them, you want to up your game, you want to do the Anson thing, fine. If you don't, this stuff works really good. Looks good. Pretty nice quality. And certainly worth, you know, $7-8. I think, you know, 12 was like the most expensive belt I had. And that, once again, that's with the buckle and the strap together, as opposed to $25 a crack from some of these other name brands. So that's my thing today. You have a good time. I'll see you next time.